Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
Oh, anyway, can you just get a choc ice from the freezer?
Yeah.
Can you get the big milk in? We're running out of milk.
Yeah, exactly.
Pineapple on pizza. Talk to me.
No. As a kid, yes. On a cheap pizza, cheap ham and pineapple pizza. It's exciting because you're going, well, all I've had before is cheese and possibly pepperoni. You know, proper kids' pizzas, proper small, 6-inch disc of a pizza from Tesco that you find at a party cut into 6 slices, on a chopping board. So pineapple is a welcome treat because you're so used to it. It's always cold. It's always at a kid's birthday party, and it's always a bit just, this isn't good. Hello, bit of pineapple. However, when you get older, you start to learn, okay, pizza's delicious if it's just margarita, and then there's so many different options. I think maybe that's it. Maybe you learn there's
Name
so
some
much
of the
more.
options.
Gorgonzola. My God, you ever had that on a pizza?
Wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, Jesus
I thought you were
Christ.
just going to say chicken or something.
No, the quattro formaggi is one of the greatest inventions ever. Any sort of cured meat on a pizza, cooked within the oven or not, you know what I mean? I'm saying you can put some pepperoni on it, put it in the oven. I'm talking a proper pizza oven, or do that thing where they make the margarita and then afterwards put on the, the sort of, is it prosciutto or something and some rocket or something, and then it's, not raw, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's endless options, and then you go, well, was pineapple even ever that good? I think that's it. I think you learn more and you go out it's like gigs, you know what I mean? Do your first gig and then you're like, that was amazing, and then you do better gigs and you go, cool, did I really think that gig was good? Because you get, go on to better things. That's what I think, Ben. What do you think about pineapple on pizza?
Yeah, love it. All for it.
Yeah, I thought you would.
I'm all for it, and maybe like using the gig analogy, you're young, you just play a sold out venue supporting your favourite band, and then every gig you do after that is shit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where I am.
So, are you almost, let's say pineapple pizza for you is like that gig, so you're kind of trying to claw back childhood?
Well, I think, you said you have it as a kid and then you realise things get better. I realise as a kid and things get worse,
Yeah. There you go.
You can't live up to that.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the real telling of, how people, view their lives.
You know me, George, I got a sweet tooth, and I got a sweet tooth. Can absolutely plough through a bag of buttons. Ignore the sticker that reseals for later.
Yeah.
Don't need that. This is going down in one.
Yeah.
But I'm all for it. All for it. I like it, and I think it's one of those hills that people need to get over. Get over it.
I do. Can I say something? And I don't want to come across.
You can. This is your podcast as well.
Thanks. I don't want to come across as racist, which is a brilliant sentence to start with, because then people go, what is he going to say? But I think Italian people do need to calm down a bit. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
just in general.
There's
so much hand movement.
Yeah, there's a lot of hand movement. But they really freak out if anyone changes anything to do with their foods. And I get it. There's heritage and there's culture and stuff. But if your not Italian partner snaps spaghetti in front of you to get it in a pan, this is the person I've seen on Instagram, and you go mental, then are your priorities in the right place? Yeah. I saw a video where this woman tries to order cappuccino in a restaurant with pasta, and they were like, no, we can't do that. That's not the Italian way. I'm like, well, why not? They're both Italian, why can't you have it at the same time? Yeah. So there's a lot of that. I'm
pretty sure traditionally they didn't open up a Coke Zero. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
they're not
exactly.
sat there, the emperor. He's got a lovely pizza, no pineapple.
Yeah.
He's got a lovely pizza. Whops open a Dr. Pepper, a Doctorio Pepperoio. It's not happening. So we all move on.
No.
You know.
Yep.
Words change. Pizza changes.
Yep.
Gigs don't change because
No.
always the same.
Always
Should we move
the
on to
same.
some gigs? We did some
Yeah,
gigs.
let's do some gigs.
We did some.
Do you want to
gigs.
go first? I always feel like
I'm
I
gonna go
go
first. Highlight of the gig. A cat came on stage.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw this on your Instagram.
Absolute delight.
So was this while you were playing?
This
I love
was
your
no.
questions.
This is while we were waiting to do the first dance.
Okay. Where were you that there was a cat wandering about? Greece?
Venue was called Marshwood Manor.
Oh, so you're
so
in
sort
a
of like-
hotel thing.
No, well, it's like a big old manor house that's been converted into a wedding venue.
Right, yeah.
Very nice. Played there before. And yeah, just there was a dog as well, just running about.
Nice.
But the cat, he just walked in because they had like side doors open to outside, which is weird. They had the buffet was outside, right?
Well, in November?
Yeah, it was this big collection of hams and cheese and bread and stuff. And they just had the doors open, and the buffet was all outside.
Were people outside, or did they?
Yeah, people would be out there smoking or vaping, or they did have a few sort of like drinks and stuff out there. But the main bar was the other side of the room. But clearly didn't give a shit about sound because they just had these huge doors open all night. But yeah, cat just comes in. We just sort of, it was a first dance where they're like, oh, we're not doing it like a first dance. But it is the first dance. So can you just sort of start playing it and then we'll come in from outside as you start. It was fine, but yeah, best bit, just a little cat comes on and just has a little wander. Yeah. Rubs his little face up against the pack brack and shout out Jordan Farouja.
Yeah. Use that, Jordan, if you need somehow. I don't know.
Yeah. Cat brack.
There we go. God. Brilliant.
But no, it was an easy gig. It was one of the gigs as well where you think, oh, it's not that far away. But then it sort of is. And that cusp is about when it's just over 2 hours. Sat nav's like 2 hours 5. Yeah. If it said like 150, you'd be like, that's not far. That's fine. No. But 205, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. But you don't really think about it, and then you're like, oh, it is
I had the same.
All good.
My gig, segue, was in Christchurch, and it was exactly 2 hours 2 or something like that. And it is, when you see the number, and especially if it's in red as well, you know, because it's traffic or whatever, you're like, oh, for fuck's sake. But, you know, on the way, I did pop into yours.
You did indeed. You came and saw the new house.
Saw the new house. Turned up in my football gear.
House.
Yeah. Ye house. How about our house? Do you want to put that, Lynn? There you go. Yeah, lovely place. You know.
Thank you.
Well done.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
You know, I helped you put up the sex swing in the garage. That's kind of where I came round.
Replenish the sex bag.
I'll tell you what, there is a sturdy chain in that garage.
There is,
My God.
I have to say it's for taking car engines out, but after the sex bag, who knows?
Yeah, well, this is it.
Who knows where that big hook went?
Yeah, exactly. But no, it was lovely to pop in. Lovely thick carpets you got on your stairs. My God.
Yeah.
It was like walking on marshmallows.
Yeah.
I
liked when because I showed you around the house and I showed you outside and I showed you that sort of brick outbuilding, not the garage, but the brick outbuilding, and that's where we've got our big fridge. Because the kitchen's only got room for a little fridge at the moment. Yeah. So we've got the little fridge in the kitchen and we've got the big fridge with the fridge freezer, and we were joking. I really enjoyed our jesting, our joshing around, and we people listening, we joke around even when we're not recording.
Yeah. More so, probably. This feels like work now. I hate it.
Yeah, I have to set an alarm and get up to do this.
Yeah.
Like, you know, sort of say, oh, I've got the fridge out here. So, turning into one of them people. And he said something. Oh, when you're out, can you just get a choc ice from the freezer?
Yeah. exactly.
One of them, you just got to pop out.
Yeah.
Can you get the big milk in? We're running out of milk.
Yeah, exactly. My dad's sister, my auntie, she used to have a small fridge just for
If you're going out there,
drinks.
that's the phrase, isn't it?
Yeah,
If you're going out.
This is it. But I always found it bougie when someone had a second fridge. As I said, my auntie had another one for drinks and stuff. I thought that was just drinks, you know? And it was in the garage or whatever. He was like, oh, where's the squash? Oh, you got to get it from the... She kept the squash in the fridge, you know? But yeah, if you're going out there, get us a choc ice while you're out there. And there's something wholesome about when it's dark and raining as well. Like, and then you can run back in with your choc ice or whatever in the winter, you know? So yeah, you've got
But have I talked about Crocs?
No.
So I'm having we all encounter dilemmas in life. What do you study at uni? Is this person right for you? You know, those sorts of things. Real big dilemma, and I've never really had this before because I've lived in flats for so long, where if you pop out, you're popping out into the main road, you know. Whereas now I'm ground level, baby. Ground level. I've got a back door. I've got a garden, you know, where no one's coming in. You know, it's our space. It's ye space. And we got this outhouse with this out fridge, you know, this outside fridge freezer. So you got to pop out or just pop there, pop the garage, run this to the bins. And putting shoes on is could be a bit of a faff, you know, just to pop out, especially it's winter, it's cold, it might be a bit wet. And I'm a man who, much like you and pineapple on pizza, I detest Crocs. I detest Crocs.
Yeah.
I don't like them. They annoy me. People who wear them annoy me. I'm being overly zealous with it here, but
it's good, you know.
You know, I'm never going to own Crocs. I'm never going to own Crocs. Awful, awful shoe. You know.
I wonder where this is going.
Well, I just kind of feel like it'd be quite handy, wouldn't it? Actually, just have a pair of Crocs you just slip on to go outside.
Yeah. I think Crocs especially because slippers, if it's raining, it'll take longer to dry. You know.
Yeah, Crocs will do the elements.
Oh, they'll do the elements,
wind,
boy.
Rain,
don't worry.
Sleet.
Yeah.
Smog.
And if if your partner's
you can walk on grass, paving.
Exactly.
So I'm going to try and do my best to get a Croc alternative. But then Crocs throw a bloody fucking curveball and release a pair of Batman Crocs that look like the Batmobile. And I'm like, I think they're targeting me personally here. I think they've read my mind. The boffins at Crocs, they've read my mind. They've gone, he doesn't want Crocs, he doesn't want them, but he fucking loves Batman. Let's make some Batman Crocs. Let's test this guy's mental resolve.
Okay, a few questions.
Correct, yeah.
One, why are you looking for a Croc alternative? What's wrong with just Crocs? Do you mean like as in a brand that's doing the Croc but cheaply, or like as in like a slipper, say, or a sandal?
Well, you know, looking for option, maybe just get a pair of sliders or something, you know.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But I'm trying to find some sort of alternative that maybe has a pop culture theme.
Yeah, of course.
But hard to find.
Second question: did you look up Crocs to find the Batman thing, or did it just appear? Did it find you? You know,
it found me. Someone sent them to me.
Oh, really?
Oh, Winter, you'd love these. I half love them. I half hate them.
Did they know about your outhouse?
No. This was.
Oh wow! So you were.
This was just
right. Okay. So
something's Batman themed. Send it to Ben.
Right. So another question: were you going? I might need some Crocs, and then they sent it over, or did they send the Crocs and then you went, "Hello, that might help me when I need to get a choc ice."
They sent the Crocs before I moved house.
Right.
And it was these are Batmobile themed Crocs.
Yeah.
Ben likes Batman.
Yeah.
I'll send them to him.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was like, love Batman, but I hate Crocs. I didn't say that in the group chat. But I did go, oh, that's annoying, because they are Batman themed, but I hate Crocs. Now I'm in the house, I'm realising the importance of a quick slip-on, heavy-duty shoe for popping out for a choc ice.
Yeah.
So it's a dilemma. Maybe I should get over it. But I've got my slip-on Vans. They're doing the job for now. But maybe I'm just got to become a Croc guy.
I think, because I feel like...
If you want the choc ice and the big milk.
Yeah, yeah. Crocs are far easier to get on. I mean, you don't have to bend down and do the whole getting the thing
down,
in.
Isn't it?
You know what I mean? And what I was going to say earlier, if your partner goes, get me a choc ice now, you can put those Crocs in sport mode, boy. Do you know what I mean? I don't know what that means, but basically you flip the bit down and then you can run or something. I don't know. It doesn't work. They're still just Crocs. But, great. Gary Barlow's son's massive, isn't he?
Big boy, yeah, big boy. Big boy, that's made the news. That's sort of hit the... the sort of... I think we all needed a bit of distraction from the US election.
Yeah.
And what a great way to be distracted.
Unbelievable.
Trump's won. Here we go again. I think overall this time, everyone's just like, for fuck's sake. I think if your friend comes over to your house, right, just in general, and shits themselves,
Where
you're going to be,
going?
you're annoyed, you know what I mean? You're like, for fuck's sake, you've shat yourself. Like, you've come in, right? You invite that bloke or girl round another time and they shit themselves again, you're kind of a bit more used to it. And you're like, oh, Billy, you know, he's done it again. And you're prepared. You've been through the pain of having to help someone clear up shit and get spare parts. The second time, you're a bit more prepared. I think that's a bit like Trump, really. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake, America's shat itself again. But we've been through it before. We expect it.
This is where we'll now get messages. We're saying, you boys should stay away from politics. You don't know what you talk about.
Well, we actually stay away from drums, probably a bit too much, actually.
I only told you about the gig. I just said that I went to your house on the way.
That's true. But I think we all need a little bit of a distraction, you know, and you can do feel-good stories about, you know, oh, this scam victim got her money back, or this... The best one for me, actually, was the raccoons on the Isle of Wight. I don't know if you saw that. 4 raccoons escaped from a zoo.
Amazing.
And they found them. So that's good. Apparently, they didn't even leave the zoo. They were just sort of waltzing around. Anyway, feel good stories. But I think really as a nation, it was the communal distraction of Gary Barlow's lads, massive.
Yeah, yeah.
And instantly, we've stopped cleaning up shit, and we just go, he's big, isn't he?
Yeah.
And he's not even that tall.
No.
As we just
so we
found
Googled
out.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, and we're trusting our sources because I've got it Googled.
Turns out it's all relative.
We're trusting
Gary
the people
Barlow's
at Manchester
family
Evening
is short.
News.
Yeah.
Apparently Daniel isn't particularly above average height. He's 6'2". But I guess it's because Gary's 5'7".
Yeah.
So it's just, you know,
and
that's
from
what
I
happens.
remember of the picture, Gary looks taller than his wife and daughter, you know? So it's like, yeah. He's going to look like, it's like, that's Gary Barlow. He's the man of the family. And then here's my other people in my family. And then, hello, there's Big, whatever his name
Big
is.
Dan.
Big John. Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. But I was going to say, going back to the gig, I had the pleasure of showing Joe Gisby this, let's say, meme reel that was on the Instagram page, the Archbishop of Banterbury. And Joe is someone I knew would enjoy it more than anyone. And I just said to him while we were sound checking, I was like, have you seen Gary Barlow's massive son? He's like, no. It's like, brilliant. And I got the honour of showing Joe it, and he just laughed more and more at each slide. So if you're listening, Joe, which I'm sure you are, thanks for letting me have that moment. Do you know what I mean? Of showing you new stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Daniel Barlow,
nice
if you're listening,
yeah, you're not.
You know, I'm 6'1", so we could be friends.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I grew up in a family where I was the shortest. I never really consider myself tall, really, because I had a brother and a dad taller than me. And so, well, it's nothing special in my house. growing up, getting that tool.
But then
and I
you
surrounded
hang out.
myself with little friends.
I was going to say you hang out with me and Neil. You know.
Yeah, you, Neil, Paulie B,
Mm.
and yeah, I'll get that down from the top shelf for you little lads.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
But then I have the problem, if something's too low, well,
there goes the back.
innit?
Yeah, this is it.
You know.
The gig though was all right. I realised I played there once before, one of my first Dep function gigs, with 8-Ball, and what was funny is you walk in, I don't know if it's a pub or like a hotel. I don't know. Who cares? It's a venue, but you walk in and there's like a little cubby hole to the left and a little cubby hole to the right. And last time I played, I was put in the right hand corner, and this time I played, we put in the left hand corner. So I don't know. They must just go, what side do you want to go, lads? You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was the venue called?
Well, we got told it was the King's Arms in Christchurch, but it wasn't. It was the something Priory.
The Black Bull. Where are we? The pubs are in between us. They go to the wrong pub.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking of Friday night. I'm thinking of Friday night dinner where there was the Black Boy, and they're like, I knew it was the Black something, and then they see Jim in the pub giving a pint to his dog. Anyway, the gig was good. 7:30 start, 9:30 finish. Tell you the one part that was notable was we played All About You by McFly. Good God, that went down well. That was probably the best part of the night. I don't know if it was a request and they all loved it, and I think also because you're not really playing much, you know, I was like, drums don't really come in.
Drums could come in for a bit, didn't they?
Yeah.
It's a nice little drum part, though.
Lovely little drum part, you know.
Yeah,
Lovely
you
little
know,
drum part.
Harry packed it in for such a small amount. Yeah, and maybe they loved it because you know Danny's just going into the jungle.
Is he?
Yeah.
I keep getting a targeted ad about Danny Jones with his hair transplant. Have you seen this?
I get that.
And
I get that.
Yeah, and he's like, I think it's the best thing I've ever done in my life. And one of the comments was like,
being a McFly is.
Yeah, it's
that's
like,
the best
you've
thing.
got kids, Danny. You got kids. The hair transplant can't be
I've
the
got your
best thing.
kids, Dan. I've got your kids.
Oh, God, no, I forgot to say. I had not to be like, oh, me. I feel bad for me. I had and have an ear infection. I'm on antibiotics and penicillin at the moment.
And what?
Made it penicillin. It made it very hard to do the gig because I couldn't really put in things into my right ear because it was so big and inflamed. So then you got this ear infection, and I was like, well, do you know what? It's quite a small room.
Was it as big as Daniel Barlow's ear?
Yeah, probably. It's like the BFG. But I was, so then I had to kind of go like with just one in the left ear, but then you're kind of aware that, well, I've already got an infection and now there's noise going in it. So it wasn't my favourite gig ever in terms of ears. But, you know, hopefully...
Got to pay the bills, isn't it?
Hopefully, yeah, well, this is it. And also...
do you know where it came from?
The ear infection.
Yeah. What you've been putting in your ear?
No, I've got a theory on this. So
Swimming?
No, Otex. Do you know what Otex is?
Otex.
So it's like this wax removal stuff, and it's really good. If you got like a lot of wax, you put it in, and then you can literally hear it fizzing, and it just turns all your wax just into liquid wax. You know,
it's like a soda stream for the ears.
Yeah. And I went to Specsavers to have my ears syringed or suctioned or whatever, as I've talked about. And the woman told me off. She was like, do not use Otex. Like, again, like basically like there's chemicals in it and it just really fucks with like your ears. And I was actually talking to my mum about it. We were like, maybe it's one of those things where it's like one of those, you know, where you kill the good bacteria and the bad bacteria. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's like you do need wax in your ear. And if you use Otex, you just get rid of it all, and then there's like nothing to protect your ear from the elements or something. Because I was trying to think back, and I was like, I have for the last however many years, I do suffer with ear infections like every time it gets to winter for some reason. But I was like, maybe it's just when I use Otex, and then my ears are unprotected. So now I'm not going to use Otex and see if that fixes it. But yeah, because it's a fucker. I had to do a phone call with the doctor yesterday, and I was just like, look, what can we do about this? This is mental. And he was like, yeah, I'm looking through your records, and it is every year you've had a ear infection. I was like, yes, fix it, please. But and then also I've had to move doctor's surgeries as well because I turned up to get my prescription. They were like, what's your address? I was like, oh, it's oh, hang on, no, I've moved. And they were like, oh, you need to put your new address and see if you're in the right band or whatever. And I'm not. I got an email this morning. It's like, you got to change doctor's surgeries. I'm like, oh, again, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, something I've got to do actually.
Really? Yeah. But it's alright.
Some people go, who's your doctor? No idea. I've got absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
I know when I was a kid, it was Dr. Sinclair, Jubilee Surgery, Titchfield. Nowadays, I've got no idea.
This is it. I don't. Mine was Dr. Slingsby,
so I just let
I have no idea.
Cut bleed until it stops.
Yep.
You know.
There you go. And if it doesn't, then well, I guess
if I just pick at it more, I'm sure it'll get better.
Yeah.
That's the way. Well, does it hurt? Does your ear hurt?
Yeah, it does hurt. And it's one of those things where it's like you can then feel it in your jaw and you just feel a bit run down. You know what I mean? But I'll be all right. It's okay. You know, it's not AIDS, so that's good. What else did we have to chat about?
Evans.
Ah, that's good. Oh, that reminds me. Oh no, it's not even that funny. Right, let's do Evans.
Yes. So let's finish this episode with some drum chat.
Yeah, for fuck's sake, 28 minutes in. Barely.
Yeah. But that's why people come for the smorgasbord of delectable delights.
Yeah.
So as we've already mentioned, Saturday we had a busy day. You popped round to the gaff. We both then off we went headed west along that lovely M27 to do different gigs. Now, prior to that, last week you mentioned it was the Graham Russell drums birthday bash.
Oh yeah,
on Saturday. So in the morning, I popped down. You know, sometimes you're like, can I be bothered? And I was like, no, do it, go.
Yeah.
So I knew that there would be someone from Evans Drumheads down there doing tuning and things like that. And I thought, well, I got the Ludwig Acrolite, still sat there, having brought it home from Florida, from Florida. No skins, no snare wires. Let's take it in. At the very least, I thought I'll go and get some skins. I thought, do you know what? I'll just take it in the car with me. So went down there Saturday morning, late morning. This was bloody rammed, absolutely rammoed,
really?
Which was great to see. Managed to get a parking space. And then took the snare in, saw Graham, saw mate Rob down there, saw some of the other boys, and, you know, said to Rob, I've got this Acrolite in Florida, and he was like, I'll go see Ben at Evans over there by the skins. He'll sort you out. So I waited. There was a father and son chatting to Ben. They had a rack tom, and they were going through a few different skin options and tuning. And I said, do you mind if I sort of watch? They were like, yeah, fine. So he was mainly showing in the difference between the sort of factory heads that he had on the tom, which was quite old, and then they were looking at the Evans hydraulics and the Evans EC2. But anyway, so then off they went, and I said to Ben, I've got this Ludwig Acrolite, bought it in Florida, 1970s. Can you help me sort it out? And he very willfully and gladly did. So he was pleased to be working on a vintage snare. And he said, look, it's pretty down the line, but here's what I recommend. Here's what we should put on. And I've got it up here. I've got, because I was pretty much like, you pick what you want, mate. You know what I mean? I'm happy to go. I don't really have much experience with vintage drums. So, batter skim, Evans power, I had it right up here. Evans Power Center Reverse Dot.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So one of them. And then we had the Hazy 300 snare side. And then we got some Pure Sound Custom 20 strand snare wires. And he got it all up and running. Got all the skins on for me, tuned it up. Sounded great. Sounded really good. Yeah, he did a great job. But here's a couple of little things I sort of hopefully we'll get Ben on the show to talk
That'd be
things all about Evans drums heads and tuning and his role at Evans as sort of a specialist in that sort of thing. But we had a good chat talking about the podcast and stuff. And but one thing I noticed when he was tuning, which was not something I'd ever done actually. So on both drums, the kid's tom and the snares, the snare wires off. So he recommended using a mallet, like a soft beater, right? But when he was tuning and checking the pitches around sort of each lug, he just gently placed his finger in the middle of the drum. And I sort of asked him, I said, "Oh, I noticed you putting your hand in the putting your finger." And he said, "Yeah, I'm just resting my finger in the center of the drum, and then I'm hitting around the lugs with a soft sort of mallet." And what that does is that just gives you a bit more focus on what you're hearing at that lug,
right?
Because you're essentially taking away the kind of the other opposite lugs vibrations, so you're just getting a bit more of a focused thing to identify when you're going around. So that was quite good. But a couple of other things he said when doing a kick drum, he said, go finger tight and then just push the rim down a bit with your hand and tighten it again, and that's all you need to do. He said you should be able to tune a kick drum without a drum key. Wow. Because you have quite a lot of give, on a kick drum. That's all you should need to do. You should be able to do it.
Say that again, just for listeners that missed that.
So get your hoop on, your kick, your new skin on, and get your hoop on. Tighten all the lugs finger tight, so you can't tighten them anymore with your fingers. And then that should be, do your chest compressions on it. And then that should be like, try that out. If you want it a bit tighter, a bit more tension, just push the hoop down a bit and then tighten the lug again. And
Are
it will
you
only
pushing
move
the hoop down around where the lug is, or just
yeah,
cool.
Just gently push it down, which will just manually give it a bit more slack on the lug, and then just tighten it a bit. You don't have to push down really hard. And he said then that usually should be a great starting point or decent tension. Like, you shouldn't really need to go much tighter than that. Much more tighter than just above finger tight. What else did he do? He said, I think a good default starting place was tune your reso head and get it all even, and then when you tune your batter, tune it to the same pitch and just see how that sounds. And that's your sort of starting point. But it was interesting when he was tuning these drums, checking my own hearing and going, is that one, I think that one's lower, is he going to tighten that one? And then he did, and you're like, oh, good, I'm not mental. But yeah, no, it was really good. It was good fun. I picked up some sticks as well.
Nice.
Said loads of Graham and people. Yeah, it was very interesting. So
lovely.
Snare sounds great. I haven't got it set up on a kit yet, but I will do it at some point. But I also learned, because when he was chatting to the dad and his son, they were getting skins for his kit, and they were going through all the different tom skins. And then he asked about kick drum, and Ben said, "Oh, the go-to, what I'd recommend." And I sort of said, EMAD 2. Yeah, was the EMAD 2, but I never knew what EMAD stood for. And it stands for externally mounted adjustable dampening. Because it's got that foam ring in it. Mounted in that sort of plastic thing, right? But then he recommended to this kid that, because he's got a 20-inch kick drum, he recommended potentially going for a GMAD.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I didn't ask, but I don't think I'd ever heard of a GMAD. But I think he said it was like a single ply. And he said it would probably work a bit better on a 20-inch kick. But so I just before we hit record on this bad boy, I obviously just double checked what EMAD meant, and just a reminder, externally mounted adjustable dampening. So I've just typed into Google as well, what does GMAD stand for? And Google AI has come up with Green Mountain Animal Defenders.
Wow.
So It's also come up with what we got here: the Gay Men of African Descent, the Global Marine Aquarium Database, Ghana Make a Difference, Geometric Mean Aerodynamic Diameter, Globe Marketing Advertising Distributors, Google Maps API application for digitizing. So there's lots of other meanings. I'm not sure which one Evans were going for, but I love Green Mountain Animal Defenders.
Yeah.
And I really want to sort of find out what they do.
Let's unpack it. Green Mountain. So there's a Green Mountain Animal Defenders. So
yeah,
but are these people that are defending the animals, or are they animals that are defending animals?
I'm just looking on there. I'm on the Green Mountain Animal Defenders.org, based in Vermont.
Yeah,
Northeast America. It's a volunteer-run animal protection organisation which advocates for the well-being of all animal species. That's nice. Rescue and emergency transportation for animals, including wildlife, lost or found pets, education. Lovely.
Amazing.
So you've got your externally mounted adjustable dampening and your Green Mountain Animal Defenders. Those are the two options that Evans offer. One last thing. Since I moved home, I no longer live locally to my studio.
No.
I still do, but before I could walk to work. Now I can't. So I want to, keep a bit of self-fitness in my life. Bought a punching bag, innit?
Yeah. Are you going to hang it from the big chain in your garage?
Well, not from the big chain, but there was already a bracket installed in the centre of the garage for hanging a punching bag. And I used to have personal training sessions before COVID, which I really enjoyed, and part of that was boxing pad work, and I really enjoyed it. And it's something I've wanted for quite a while. I was like, there's already the bracket there. Fuck it. I'm going to get a punching bag and some gloves. So I could just get a little bit more exercise. Get the belly down, ease on the old spine and the old back. You could go, stop eating whole bags of buttons. Yeah, well, you could also fuck off. You know what I mean? It's
all about balance.
Swings around about. Yeah. And I think just in general in life doing what we do, you need some sort of outlet, whether that be a punching bag or a screaming pillow.
Yeah.
You need some kind of device to let that out. So, hopefully just get a little bit of that in my life. And see what happens. But
brilliant.
It's good fun though, isn't it? Just punching something.
Yeah.
Just punching. God. Not, don't punch people, don't punch animals.
No. Green Mountain will stop you.
A Green Mountain will be on you like an absolute flash.
Yeah, exactly.
You're doing a bit of, have you entered a marathon or something?
Triathlon. Have I talked about it on here?
Triathlon. I think so, maybe.
Yeah, if I did.
But,
something to do, innit?
That's it. I think sometimes you just got to have something to do.
Yeah, have something to, and I keep getting emails about the Ironman in Weymouth next September, and I'm like, ooh, do I do it again? Is
it the same one?
Yes. So I'll know what I'm doing a bit more, at least, and I'll know not to get
told off for being naked. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that's on the
after doing
front
the
page of the rules.
Swim. No, but clearly should have been. Well, I think it was in the rule book, but it was a bloody big rule book. If you do one, I've said it before. If you do like a Brighton half marathon, it's like just turn up, have a good time. If you do the Ironman, it's like you have to download a PDF, like 80 pages, and it's like, right, if you do this, it'd be a 5-second penalty. You're like, what do you mean? What, are you going to stop my bike for 5 seconds or what? Add 5 seconds on.
It's like Formula 1, mate. Do you know what I mean?
It's taken me 6 hours anyway to do it. Put 5 seconds on. I don't care, But yeah.
Great.
Cool.
Should we wrap up there?
Yeah, let's do it.
Email us, drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram. Check out the Instagram, Drum and Drummer Podcast. And have a lovely week. Rest of your weekend. If you're out gigging, have a good gig.
Yeah.
And let us know if you've ever had a stage invasion from any of the animal kingdom.
Yes.
That's
last
the only stage invasion I will tolerate.
Also, thank you to Percussion Oh God, I fucked it up already. Hang on. Percussion discussion for messaging in, because obviously when I talked about the Ferrugia thing,
Yes.
Did I talk about this last?
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, let's cut that out then.
You didn't say who it was though.
Oh no, that was why. Sorry, I knew I'd done something. Yeah. Percussion discussion messaged in and said, that was me that said Ferrugia at UK Drum Show. And yeah, I was like, I thought it was, but I didn't want to miscredit it. Because when you're in a flow of recording, I was like, I'm pretty sure it was that, but I didn't want to say the wrong one or say it wrong. But yes, percussion discussion, another drum podcast. Go and check them out,
Have a good week.
Yep.
And you got any gigs this weekend?
No, sadly.
No. Okay.
But I think I've got 2 the weekend after, so that's all right.
So it's the same as
yeah.
weekly.
Yeah.
I'm going up to bloody Norfolk. Norfolk, mate. Norfolk Digital.
Jesus.
Yeah, big trip. So it's a van and a hotel job for this one. But
wow.
Gig with Wonder Year. So, but it should be fun.
Lovely.
We'll see you next time. Bye, George.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.